Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Monster, episode 17. Alright, Anna is
on the rooftop,
Yep.
and she saw something. Probably not Johan.
Yeah, it didn't look like she was noticing someone living. It
Right.
was more of like, this is the kind of face you make when you see a corpse, or you see something disturbing.
Right.
And Johan in and of himself, without context, is not disturbing. So, also, if Johan was there, she would have drawn the gun on him. So,
right. Yeah.
It's a little bit interesting. Tenma is now on a death mission to kill Johan
sent by
from
General
Wolf. Yes.
Which is awesome.
Which is crazy. Yeah, that conversation between him and Wolf was something else.
It's pretty great.
But yeah, everything's kind of gotten all focused all of a sudden.
It has, yeah. They've cleared away a lot of the variables.
Yeah, I mean, Dieter and
Bucktooth.
Yeah, they were in the park.
Right.
And they had that whole escapade there with the
There's
skinheads, as he called them.
Right. There's the possibility that the Turkish district is still in danger of being burned down because they might have had agents that were not at the mansion.
Yeah, they don't need to. They're pretty autonomous. They might not have need for orders for this point. Yeah. So it's a little bit crazy. But yeah, we're excited. So without further ado, let's get into this. Oh, yeah, it is Tenma.
もうすぐヨハンの指定した場所へ到着します。何が起きるかわからない。ちゃんと銃は使えますね。
Oh yeah.
フランクフルトの市内へ行け。カルビン通りだ。
ヨハンを殺しに行くのではないのですか。
私は誰の
Yeah, I was gonna say, I didn't hear that any
私
mission.
でヨハンを殺す。今はカルビン通りへ行け。
こいつらどうします？優秀な民族の中にもこういうのがいる。一人はコソ泥だし、小僧にとっては我々の行動をトルコ人に密告しようとした。二人ともクズだ。ジョーカーだな。
All this rhetoric and stuff.
どうせここも燃やしてしまうのだから。
Just leave him here.
Right.
ディーターはここに来ただろう。
うん。
来てない。
それよりアイシェは。この子がアイシェの息子だよ。
Ah,
早く母親に抱かせてあげなくちゃ。
It's not gonna happen.
He's gonna be kind of cold about it too, isn't he?
Well, he's a doctor. He knows how to
そんな
deal
こ
with
と
that
私
kind of
信
information.
じないからね。
犠牲者は出さない。この町の代表者たちに会わせてくれ。
Okay.
Okay. So they might take him seriously if he's...
どう思うね。
町に火をつけるか。極右の連中のその手の噂は年中流れているからな。
Oh, so they're not gonna take it seriously because it's just been words and stuff.
第一この日本人、自分の身が危険だってのにのこのこ現れたのが怪しいぜ。
もういいよ。好きにするがいいさ。あんたたちなんか嫌がっちまえ。
まあちょっと待ちな。
Okay, good. The elder. Here we
Yeah.
go.
自警団を作れってのか。この日本人の言う通りにちょいとやってみようじゃねえか。
デニスさん、こんな怪しい日本人の言うことを聞くのか。
Suspicious Japanese
確かに
person.
怪しい。だがな、昨日男ども全員
That's
集
probably a
める。
real life event, like real world event. I'm gonna look that up.
おいしそう。今日はまた特別なディナーね。
待ったそんなに焦って食べてはダメ。シ
Oh,
ョー
of
タイムの
course.
前に食事が終わってしまいます。メインディッシ
And they
ュ
have to have
が
a
並
good
ぶ
view
頃
of
に
it.
ショーは最高潮を迎えるんですからね。ご覧なさい、まず第一の火の手が上がりましたよ。でもまだまだものは前菜です。
メインディッシュはいつなの？
焦ってはダメって言ってるでしょ。ゆっくりと食事を味わい、たっぷりとショーを。
メインディッシュはどこ？
Well done, well done, well done.
どの場所を燃やすのがメインディッシュなの？
消火器の数が足りないぞ。
Oh, nice.
あれはあくまで前菜ですからね。
Oh, nice. Nice, Anna.
残念。
Way to spit in
楽
his
しくやろう
face.
じゃありませんか。君のお兄さん、ヨハンを迎えるための祭典なのだから。
ヨハンはこんなこと望んでいなかった。
What was there?
何を見てきたんだね。
彼は は何も望んでいなかった。
わかった。リラックス、落ち着こうじゃないか。
あなた方はアイシを殺した。もうこれ以上ひどいことはさせない。
I would rotate around behind him and use him as a human shield right about now. Crap.
This is bad.
This is really bad, yeah. So it's that she's of Johan's blood that they won't try to kill her.
おかげで危うく本当のメインディッシュの場所を教えてしまいそうになったよ。
では、お
She going into a
食事の
trap?
続きを。
いや、その前
Oh,
に
they're doing the
下
sound
着を
thing again.
Ha!
Ha!
恐ろしい娘だよ。
You coward! Yeah, be careful. You don't want to just open the door quickly because then, yep! The heat will blast you really quickly.
Spray everywhere.
Oh my gosh.
待ってて、今消すから。
So, she asked where Dieter was.
俺がこの町燃やすんなら、こんなところに火はつけねえ。
Oh.
ここはおとりだって言ってんだよ。
Okay.
Right, right. All these little fires.
なんとか鎮火したな。
If they're already
まさんよ、
upwind.
礼を言うぜ。風向きが変わるんだよ。
Oh, it's going to
夜
change.
今時分になると、一度風が止んで、今度は急に川風が吹き込んで。
Oh.
Gotcha.
Oh, crap.
よし、これで大丈夫だ。
And guess who trusts Tenma now? Everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
何言ってるんだ。怪我人はおとなしくしてろ。そう固いこと言うなって。なあ。
そうだよ。ドクターテーマのおかげで。
I love how they all have the same. I love how they all have the same mustache.
Yeah.
火の手が上がらず
And
に
like
や
eyes
きもきして
closed
るだろ
smile.
違いに。
Yeah.
一体奴らはどこに火をつけるの？
ほっとけよ。こんな町どうなろうと知ったことかい。
Wow, what a dick. Come on,
Hey,
man.
she still has a
片付け
gun.
なきゃならねえ
はい
仕事があるんだよ。もうすぐ川風が吹き込んでくる。川べりの工場跡に火つけりゃひとたまりもねえ。
Okay,
あ
so
そこ
an
に
area
は
where there would
化
be
学
no
薬品
people.
がまだ残ってるんだよ。
Oh, chemicals, crap.
Gotcha, because they need it to be a big fire.
Yeah, and then create a big explosion which sets off other fires.
メインディッシュの時間でちゅ。さあ、満腹にさせておくれ。
おや、どうしてついてきたの？
火を消さなきゃいけないんだ。約束したんだ、天馬と。
And she's like, wait, Tenma's here? Like, hold on.
Oh yeah, I guess that's right. She wouldn't.
ここだよ。倉庫だよ。
よかった。ガソリンだわ。
Gasoline, yeah.
Oh yeah, get out.
誰かいる。
この絨毯さえ手に入りゃこんな町にはよはねえ。ヘッケル。あいや。ディータはどうした？もうすぐ川風が吹き込んでくる。倉庫の化学薬品に火ついたらこの町はおしまいなんだよ。行くぞヘッケル。
He's like, what? Me?
Yeah.
動かないで。ヨハンは確かにこのフランクフルトに
Oh,
やっ
she's
て
trying
きた
to
わ。
reason with him, saying
でも
why
あなた方
Johan's
のリ
here.
ーダーの一人とその部下を殺して去っていった。
Yeah.
もっと恐ろしい何か。
Yeah.
彼は悲しみの淵でもがき苦しん
Oh,
でるのよ。
jeez.
Okay.
ああ、知らねえぜ。こんな連中的に回してよ。
私がすることを真似しちゃダメ。
Don't do what I'm about to do.
目をつぶって見ちゃダメよ。
うちだよ。
天馬。
Yeah, tackling him.
Kick it. Ow, crap.
See, tackling him was not the thing to do.
The carpet. Wow. Whoa. That's poetic almost. That's almost poetic right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's like my 1 million.
Yeah.
You deserve it, buddy. He's like, but I don't want to eat my food because there's no reason to.
Nina! 約束してくれ！撃つな！君は人を撃っちゃいけない！
私見たの！ヨハンのメッセージあれば私に頭を狙って撃てって言っているのがようやく分かった！
Oh, crap!
ヨハンは一人じゃない！
Johan isn't alone. Whoa, what?
Gotcha. So it's a split personality thing?
あの絨毯さえ無事ならクソ。ん？あ？なんだこりゃ。これは。
Show us.
Like you need to actually show us.
Stop doing this.
You can't have the same thing be a cliffhanger.
Okay, they're actually going to show us.
助けて。僕の中のモンスターが破裂しそうだ。
Whoa. Yep.
ヨハンの中には2人の人格がいる。
Yep. Okay, so split personalities in Johan. This is something that we theorized a while back, and so it's actually real. So this is the type of storytelling that I thought they would do at some point. Was that we would get more context to scenes we got in the beginning of the show, and one of them being the fact that Anna shot Johan,
right?
And Johan wanted her to. That's why she shot him in the head, and yet for like the luck of miracle of Tenma, basically, he lived. And that's why Johan, the monster, is so grateful to Tenma.
Yeah.
Because Tenma saved both of their lives.
Right.
But do you know what this sets up? This is now a way for Tenma to believe that he can actually save Johan.
Right.
And it's going to be another reason for him to not kill him when he gets the chance to.
But then there's still that question of if Johan continues killing more people, then
is it really worth it? Is it really worth it to risk more people's lives for the chance that you could save someone who is not necessarily of their own free will, killing lots of people? Because the whole idea of split personalities is I'd say it's a very touchy subject, because lots of people, suffer from different types of mental illnesses and stuff.
Right. But this is a very apropos way, though, to deal with the whole monster thing, like the monster inside all of us.
For sure.
Have it be like this.
There's a lot of philosophical themes to it, because a lot of people have talked about how, it's not the devil that's out there and causing problems and stuff. It's the devil in all of us that's basically we're constantly in a struggle with to kind of be a net positive for humanity and just society as a whole. But instead, we oftentimes choose the more selfish, the more violent, the more aggressive acts for whatever reason.
This also sheds some more light on way back at the beginning, when they're in the hospital and Anna is brought before Johan, and she of course screams bloody murder, right?
Of course.
But then Johan is there with this sad afraid or worried look on his face, with his hands
genuine.
Yeah, he looks genuinely concerned about his sister.
Right. And it's because that
I guess was the other one. Yeah.
Right. But this is another good point, is that what this ties back to is that the monster has been in him for a long time.
Yeah.
Now, this is the thing that gets us into the whole nature and nurture argument again, is it was there before Kinderheim.
Right.
So we know for a fact that Kinderheim wasn't the nurture part that basically escalated it or what have you.
Right. They maybe just made it so that he was, that personality was dominant more often than not.
Right. But when he was found with his sister on the Czechoslovakian border, I believe that whatever happened prior to that is where the monster started to flourish.
Sure.
Now, they could go with it again, we don't know where it really started.
Right, and they'll probably just totally keep that thing a mystery because why not?
Well, I also think that this show's length behooves it to give us more answers eventually regarding Johan's origins, because if he has a multiple personality disorder, I don't know the statistics, I don't know the general thing, but I would assume somewhat that those kinds of things become more prominent around puberty, not necessarily as much when you're that young. So if I'm right, then maybe it was more of a lingering thing, and it was flourished in Kinderheim. But there's also the possibility that I'm wrong, and that this stuff can manifest as young as like age 4.
Right, and I think one of the things that also, like, and again, neither of us are like medical experts or anything, so this is all just conjecture.
Yeah.
But that it could be tied to things like stress and things like that, like
just needing to survive.
Right. And they very much needed to survive back when they were in Czechoslovakia.
Well, at the very least, they were alone.
Exactly.
We don't know of any prior family. We don't know of what their situation was like. They could have been homeless and had no food,
but we know they were basically starved half to death. Like they were on death's door when Wolf found them.
So it does make sense that there was some kind of a do whatever it takes to survive personality that developed in Johan to protect his sister. But for some reason, his sister, I don't know, remained largely untouched. And this is the point where
maybe
I think
because of Johan.
Yes, and I think that there's a mix of nature nurture when it comes to Anna, because Anna, from what we can tell, has a lot of repressed memories of the whole past event and stuff.
I don't think she still does.
But here's the thing.
She might.
Let's say that both the repressed memories and Johan's monster are these survival mechanisms.
Sure.
Anna repressed it because...
Right. Yeah.
I don't want to deal with that.
Right. Exactly. And if Johan was the one handling everything, then she didn't really have to deal with it.
But there's also the possibility that the repressed memories are not because she saw traumatic things, but because she did traumatic things. And she and Johan were both, just as bad at the whole thing. Kind of doing whatever they could to survive.
And then maybe when he went to Kinderheim, it caused him to focus on that and develop that a lot more. So that maybe afterwards he's like, that's the mode we're in, even when they did get nice couples to take care of them.
Whereas Anna got the better schooling.
Exactly.
So it would then be both. There would be the nature bit where they were just unfortunately born into a situation where they got unlucky.
Right, they got unlucky, and they had the capabilities at least to be able to do those, do what's necessary type things.
Well, they probably had to, Jacob. It's not that they had the capability; they probably were just forced to develop the capability.
Yes, but the idea that most kids, even if they're in that situation, they just can't do it or whatever, and they die, right?
I think you'd be surprised, Jacob, how much the fear of death is a motivator for people. Like most people, I would say, don't shut down. I would say most people will go kicking and screaming for a long time. Yeah, exactly. Fight or flight is very different than shutting down. Shutting down is that third option that Johan instigates.
Right.
And that's kind of a cool thing that ties back in here, is that Johan maybe has tapped into the thing that he noticed his sister did when she encountered fear.
Sure. Yeah.
She repressed her memory or what have you. And Johan maybe, as a, growing adult is like, I can use that. That's a thing maybe in humanity. Or maybe he saw it just in Kinderheim or what have you. But the point is, Johan has 2 personalities at minimum. At minimum. This is the other thing. I think when you have, a split personality problem, you have a higher likelihood to develop more.
Sure.
than someone else out there is to develop just one other.
Right. Although the fact that we haven't discovered this until now, until basically Johan kind of told them,
right,
that probably means that it's not a 50-50 equal partnership type deal. It's like it's more like there's a hostage situation, you know.
Right.
And whatever alternate personality Johan developed, that's the one that's in charge now.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. That's a little bit freaky to think about, because we've seen how terrifying Johan can be, and to think that that part of him is dominating by fear the true nature
and
of Johan.
Funny because we talked about it and we were like, all right, wouldn't it make sense if one of the reasons that he was so interested in fear is because he wanted to understand his own fear and be able to have mastery over it.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it's like, oh no, that takes on a whole new meaning now. Like,
oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Because if
mastery over your own fear.
Because if he's trying to just learn what it is about fear, he's not necessarily trying to manipulate people. He's actually potentially trying to set himself free from his own fear.
Sure.
Like, it could be both.
Oh.
If anything, wouldn't that be funny if the alternate personality, the monster, is essentially being tricked by the real Johan into basically being like, yeah, we're going to learn about fear and we're going to, we're going to figure out how to control people. And real Johan is like, I will eventually not be afraid. I will eventually be free from this, and I can beat him at his own game.
I love that. Do you know what else it could be?
What's that?
Learning to master fear, needing to be set free. If this alternate personality of Johan's was originally just basically a defense mechanism to help protect his sister, then it could be trying to free itself from its master, right? Whoa. And now it finally has.
Whoa.
Like, you know, so now it's just experimenting with its freedom that it's gotten, and that's why maybe it's so hard to predict what Johan's gonna do. Right? Because oh boy. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
If I had known out the gate, right?
Yeah.
That Monster was about someone with a split personality. I would have been like, okay, that seems cool. Like it's probably going to be good, you know, and you know, hearing all the good stuff of, they do a really good job. Sure. But I would not have been as interested because there's
so many ways it's done wrong.
There's so many ways it's done wrong. Like
just not necessarily wrong, just poorly.
Right. Like where you can get where you're missing punches you could make. And I love that they took so long to show it here. Like they'd been seeding little bits, little breadcrumbs that this is what was going on, but they didn't actually tell us about it, which is great because it keeps us from relegating Johan to simply someone with multiple personalities, right? Because that, like, how much would that have sucked if we're going into this and we're like, yes, this is the split personality guy and the doctor, and they'll have to figure things out. Yeah. Like, no, that
no. We had built up Johan in our minds to be something way more terrifying than he actually was,
which is probably exactly how Johan sees Johan.
Well, yeah, but it's also, I think, the creator of the show, the manga, just being aware that was important. That was an important step in the story to have. The paranoia of the paranoia of Tenma being ours as well, is fantastic.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
Feel the fear that Johan's exerting,
almost
as if it's coming off the pages or coming out of the screen.
It's genius.
Yep.
So we solved the Nazi problem. The guy didn't get his main course. He went cold on him.
Yeah.
Justice served.
Cold
well
turkey.
Done. Hopefully he'll eventually, eat 50 forks and kill himself or something like that. I don't know. Just suffer, buddy. Like I don't have any good things to say about characters like that because they're so irredeemable and they kind of know it. It's when a character's like, yes, I can't wait to gorge on and cannibalize some Turks.
They're reveling in their own
villainy, and they almost make fun of it in a way.
Sure.
Like those guys, I'm just like, yeah, good. You're cartoonishly evil in all the bad ways. That's kind of like almost realistically cartoonishly evil.
Right, exactly. Yeah, they make it pretty disturbing that way, as opposed to just being like, "Ha, this guy's
right,"
an
which
idiot.
is why for like a cartoonishly evil like Skeletor, curse you, He-Man, I don't like want him to burn in hell or anything like that. But this guy, I'm like, yeah, I don't care what happens to him. I hope he I chokes on his halibut caviar.
See, the thing is,
like vomits out his stomach and dies.
I don't want that to happen. I want it to be something where maybe he sees Johan and he realizes just how insignificant his existence is, and that everything he believed and all his hopes and dreams and everything were smoke and mirrors.
And then Johan kills him.
Sure,
just nice and simple. Or nothing dramatic. Yeah, I'm over dramatizing this. In particular, the guy. He's probably pointless in regards to the grand story, and hey, that's great. Then he's not superior in any way. He's just pointless.
Exactly.
We'll just move on.
Right. It's like the part in the Captain America movie where it's like, what makes you so special? Nothing. I'm just a kid from Brooklyn. But it's like the reverse, where he realizes, oh, I'm just a dude.
I'm just a hateful dude. That's basically it. Cool story, dude. We're gonna go over here where the plot is, and you can go remain over here and just sit in your hate and eat expensive food.
Exactly.
All right, so Anna met up with Tenma finally,
and immediately split off.
But the thing is that they passed along very important data to each other, very important info. So now that they're on the same page with that, they both don't want the other person to be a murderer.
Right.
But she's aware that Tenma is being regarded as such by the police and everything. So she kind of has to keep her distance in a way, because she doesn't want to get wrapped up in that.
Right.
And someone has to stop Johan.
Exactly. So they both have the same kind of thing that they're doing.
Idealistic thing of that they both can actually solve the problem alone, which is funny because we know that's not going to work.
Right. And that's okay. That either makes me worried or that makes me excited, because that either means that they're going to come to the point where they realize they have to do this together, and it's going to be the awesome dynamic duo with Dieter, being there as well.
Oh, yeah, trio.
Yeah, trio. Or when something like this happens in other stories, and Monster doesn't have to do this, I'm just saying this is what I would expect to happen in any other story, is one of the characters dies, right? It's the point where the one person's like, no, I will take on the bad guy myself, and they go to fight them, and
I'm throwing it out there. Anna's endgame. Like,
I hope so. I hope so.
Like, I would even have a slap bet right here in that she's going to be in the last 2 or 3 episodes of the show. Like whatever the last like the finale kind of mini arc or whatever they'll have, Anna will be there. Like, I would almost wager it right now if you wanted to. That'd be the longest slap bet ever.
Okay, we'd need to make it specific. Are we talking 2 or 3 episodes?
I would say 3.
Okay.
I mean I could do 5, and that would be a little bit safer for me.
Let's keep it at 3 since that's what you originally said.
Well, okay, but 3 episodes meaning there's any Anna.
Right, the idea is that I would be saying that
she dies.
Or not necessarily that she dies, but at least she's removed from the story and doesn't get brought back, and that happens before the last 3 episodes.
I'll say that she is alive all the way up until the last 3 episodes, meaning that if she dies in the 4th episode, then I lose.
Okay.
I know this is a very specific one. It's almost skewed for me to win.
I know. Because the thing is,
I just don't think this is going to be a story about characters dying.
Right.
See, this is the thing.
Yeah, and this is probably something where I'd need to maybe we need to wait a bit to see.
We have plenty of time. Let's revisit this at a later point, because I think Monster as a story is about characters reacting to other people doing monstrous things. And this is the point, is that monstrosity in and of itself doesn't just get born out of thin air. That's the point, is that it comes from something. It doesn't necessarily come from another person. It could come from someone stewing in their own hatred because of something else out there. But literally it could originate in one person and just fester over and over time. But there is all that energy put into it initially before it becomes something monstrous.
Right. There's some sort of catalyst that needs to get it going to the point where it's self-sustaining.
Right. Otherwise, it's just kind of passive aggressive, like,
otherwise it's
like
just
this.
Everyone has a bad day, right?
Right.
But it's what's that Joker line? Like, all it takes is one bad day to make someone like go crazy or whatever.
Right. It's basically the Killing Joke thing of it only takes one bad day, and he basically tries to set up the ultimate bad day for someone. But with Johan's case, what we can see is that they're riding the edge of this very specific blend of nature and nurture, where at a very young age, something caused him to develop a split personality, and one of the personalities is not a healthy one. Not a healthy one. We do not know at what point things started to fester into the really dangerous territory, but what we do know is that it was Wolf that noticed basically, I think the direct quote was something along the lines of, like, noticed the potential, or noticed Johan. And that's the thing, though, is that if he was noticing just the split personality bit, that's not really anything to write home about.
Right.
If he noticed
the aspects of the split personality.
Exactly. The attributes.
Right. And he probably didn't even know there was split personality, because at that point, the split personality...
Johan?
The split personality...
Johan would have had no idea.
Well, Johan would have had no idea, but Wolf probably wouldn't have had any idea either, because it probably would have been some... I'm guessing, at least, that at that point, since that was their primary means by which Johan and Anna were surviving, by the time they got her to
the other personality was completely repressed.
Yep, exactly. It was locked up in a cold, dark room with chains.
Right, and the question is, when did that happen? And when did it break out? Wouldn't that be crazy if they made it so that it was because of Tenma that it started to have conflict? I believe that's a very real possibility. One of the things that this story is brought up is about saving people, saving lots of people.
Yeah.
And if Tenma was the first person to save Johan, essentially, that would be incredible. Because it would be that he actually did save both the monster and the original Tenma.
Right.
But the other thing is that in some ways, Johan had resolved to end his life at that point. Johan, the real Johan, did not want to live in an existence with his other personality. So he was aware of the other one.
Right.
He was not okay with what the other one was doing, so he hadn't been corrupted by it.
Right.
And he had Anna kill him after he had killed maybe his parents. Maybe actually killing the parents
was a way to basically terrify her enough to...
Right, but it was also maybe a thing that the monstrous side of Johan would do. And in that actually, like, rattled him enough. Like, maybe because
the fact that he killed them?
Right, maybe the Johan monster had never actually killed anyone at this point. They had maybe, like...
Or never anyone that had, like, cared for them.
Right. Yeah. So it violated some aspect of, like, both personalities. It was some
new threshold, new boundary,
Right, and then Anna is, he gives Anna the gun in a split moment of maybe, quick, kill me, like... And she's like, "What? Oh my God! What are you talking about? No! I can't do that." He's like, "You better kill me right now, or I'm gonna kill you." And then she's like, "Ah!"
And it wasn't just that he said, "Kill me." He said, "Shoot me in the head and then throw the gun out the window."
Right. So
because even there,
he's trying to protect her. You're right. Yeah. You're right. Yeah. Good.
Nice.
Good callback. Yeah.
Nice.
So we now have lots of context back to this bit. Johan is very much still the antagonist.
Yes.
But the idea that there's two Johans and one of them is deathly afraid of the other.
Like, okay.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. Like, the fact that, all right. We get excited about awesome conversations in stories in general.
Yes.
In Monster, there have been some fantastic conversations.
Oh, yeah.
Some fantastic conversations. And one of the things that we've said is that we're really excited, not for the, Tenma, will he be able to hunt down and kill Johan? But the conversations with Johan.
Right.
And the fact that there's two
types
Johans,
of Johans.
That's
they just
like
doubled the conversation value.
Oh my God.
We just figured out why this
so good.
Right, we just figured out why this story is 70 episodes or something like that.
In
this episode alone. Because I was wondering, I'm like, okay, a manhunt. It shouldn't take this long. Now I'm like, oh, there's a double. Okay, so they could have a bit. They could have a bit of the story where they saved Johan.
Yeah.
and they think it's over.
They could have a point where it's like, okay, we got Johan in a locked up room,
right?
And we're trying to like
therapy
him.
Yeah. And it's not working.
And it's just like
and they're literally debating on the question. They're like, do we go in there and just shoot him, put him out of his misery? Like that's what he wants. And then oh my gosh, Tenma's going to deny him death over the moral value of saving a human life. And there's going to be other people who are going to be like, no, I'm with Johan. Let's just kill him. Like this just makes sense. And Tenma's going to be like the person is just like, no, we are saving him. We are doing whatever it takes. And it's not going to work. And that's where this story is going to be dark, is that it's going to come all the way to the very end, all the way come full circle. And Tenma's going to be like, I should have killed you. And the guys and Johan's going to be like, yeah, I was telling you that like all the time. And they just have this conversation. They just sit there. And it's not that Johan is like, this threat of where he will kill Tenma. He's like, I've got him under control now. But like, why
didn't you? Like,
why didn't you?
Come on, man.
Like in some ways, Tenma's going to make the other Johan into a monster as well by not killing it. Oh my gosh, I can see so many crazy.
All right, now here's something else I just had a thought of. All right, so you know how I said before that I'm actually really excited, like 10% excited. Like there's a 10% chance that I would be really excited if they had a conversation between Johan and Dieter. Right?
Oh, yes.
Because now that there's now that there's a split personality, I feel like Dieter
could talk to the good
Johan,
and bring him
and basically be like, hey man, and like, because again, it's the whole idea of, is there hope for you? Well, there's hope for me. Tenma helped me. Maybe he can help you. He could also, the whole idea of Dieter being the one to remind Tenma, what if they get to a point where Tenma does have the decision, do I kill him or not? And he's saying, and he's actually like, no, I can't risk it. It's too unlikely. And Dieter's like, no, that's not you. That's not right. You don't kill people. You save people.
Yeah.
Like there.
I do feel like that's going to be much later.
Yes.
Like I feel like
we're talking like theories for like episode like 50 or something.
Right. I feel like Tenma is still going to, like, he even said it this episode. Remember how he was like, take me to Frankfurt and Calvin Street. And the guy's like, no, you've been commissioned to go kill Johan. He's like, I don't
I'm going to kill anybody.
Well, that's that. But he said, I'm going to kill Johan on my own terms.
Volition. Yeah.
My own volition.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Now that he has this new info, he's basically saying, I will not be convinced by anyone else to kill Johan.
Right. So that means he won't even be able to be convinced by Johan.
Yeah, but what that also means is that, like, anyone else could probably convince him to save Johan. Like, he needs more willpower to kill Johan than he does to save Johan. And save Johan.
See, this is why, like, if they really wanted Johan dead, they would just hire that dude that trained Tenma and just be like, hey, do you have a sniper rifle? Like,
that's true.
We can get him talking here, and then can you just, like, be like 500 meters out and just,
Poor Dieter, he would, like, please don't be there for that.
Oh, yeah,
Sniper rifles make heads explode, basically. I mean, not really, but...
I mean, they'd probably shoot for his chest anyways, center of gravity and bigger target and everything anyways, but yeah.
True, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Boy, his show just keeps getting crazier.
It just keeps getting crazier. I'm very glad at the poetic bit. Unfortunately, that guy lost his very expensive rug, which sucks.
Yeah,
but yeah, Dieter is
running up,
best
throwing
boy,
the rug on
throwing the rug on there.
Yeah,
outrunning. The other guy was like, I don't know if I really want to, and Dieter outran him and did it. And I was just, like,
I was so worried that Dieter was like gonna get burned, like that,
I wasn't worried at all. The minute Dieter picked it up, I was like, yes, best boy, right there.
Yeah,
Dieter's the kind of character who I would never have expected at any point in the story that he would be a part of the main cast.
Right, but it's like, thank you so much.
It's so hard to put kids into a story and do it right.
Especially a story like this.
Yeah, I I don't think there's really a, like, especially this type of story thing.
Oh,
I think it's just as long as there's a story that's got adults in it as the main characters.
Adults doing adult things, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Dealing with adult problems.
Then a kid being in there just feels out of place.
Right. Usually they might have there be multiple kids or whatever in their own sectioned off little parts so that they can interact with each other, but not like a kid.
Not like a main part of the story.
Not a kid actually going with the main protagonist to stop to go to the warehouse where the Nazis are that are trying to burn down a town. Like, or taking him in a car with the Nazis and stuff when he's been, taken to some place and being like, all right,
these are Wolf's guys, so they're not Nazis.
Sure. Or ex-Nazis or whatever. But the point is, very dangerous people, and saying, all right, the town's 10 miles that way. You need to save them, kid. Go. I believe in you. You got this.
It's a cool thing because when kids are involved in stories, generally they're put there to be burdens for the main characters. And when you actually give them their own kind of arcs and motivations and goals and little things between there, they feel like real characters. But also, they're not being relegated to, like, kid-specific things.
Yeah.
Now Dieter's not a main character. Like, as far as, like, I kind of want to take back a little bit I said. He's a main, like, side character.
Exactly.
But he's about as important as a character right now as, like, Lung is.
Right.
Like,
it's the idea that he's a part of the troupe now.
Right.
But he's still a new
But he's not
addition.
Tenma, he's not Anna, he's not Johan. He's not one of the big three. He's not part of the trinity of
plot.
Of plot, yes. Yeah. He's connected to them, which is fantastic.
He is on the list of characters that could be killed off if they wanted a really sucky, really tragic character death.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
at least the best part about it is I've never seen any Maze Hughes-esque memes with this kid being, like, on the, death list of sorts of.
I don't think
top
Monster
10
is a very
saddest anime deaths.
Right. I don't think Monster is a very memed show, but
that too. But also, like, I think even then, I think Dieter's going to be the person who's guaranteed to survive. Actually, all of this.
Please.
No, I think it's going to be the saving grace of Tenma is basically that he couldn't save Johan, but at least he saved Dieter.
Right.
And Dieter went on to basically be, kind of the net positive out of this crazy thing.
It's the idea of the story of the little girl on the beach that's throwing, that's covered with starfish that are all, dying out in the sun or whatever, and she's throwing them into the sea, and the old man comes by and, you can't possibly save all of them, but I saved that one.
And I saved that one.
Yeah.
Yep. It's such a good story. Yep. All right, guys, this was an intense, exciting monster episode. New revelations, big implications for the story going forward.
Yes, just a bit.
And Tenma got a W, and he met back up with Anna, and she got a W out of this whole thing. Anna was fantastic this episode.
She was awesome.
She was incredible.
Props for
having... I don't know how she moved around that quickly, all in heels and stuff. But you know what? Who cares? She was awesome. So I'm looking forward to them meeting back up again under better circumstances, so that they can continue this hunt for Johan. And it'll be crazy once they do get close to him. So guys, if you want to see the next episode's reaction right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. Also comes full-length reactions there you can watch. And all of this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us about stories or what have you, participate in some of our Discord events, and do whatever you want there. And we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.